What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing how even the most average Destiny 2 player can solo 0 hour on Legend difficulty. I'll be showing secrets, builds, and strategies that will turn this exotic mission into a complete pushover and help you chase those crafted perks. Thanks for joining me today, and let's get you Outbreak perfected. Now let's get something straight. I'm not a god tier player, and I've never speedrun in Destiny, and I don't solo or low man endgame content. So when I say that soloing Legend 0 hour is more than possible for the average player, I mean it. You don't need insane movement, you don't need to know how to skate or have the perfect run. You're gonna see this run is far from perfect. In fact, in some places, it's flat out terrible. And it's kind of embarrassing for me to post a little bit. This run, like, solidified in my mind that if LFGing is a problem for you, you don't have to LFG this at all. All you need is a little confidence and the right loadout, and I know you can do it. So let's get started with the pieces of gear you're gonna need. Trust me, it is not a lot. You don't even need the catalyst for the weapons. I didn't have the catalysts. So for the weapons, you're gonna want Risk Runner, and as you'll see, it turns the combat encounters into like actual easy mode. You're gonna want Polaris Lance, and then the utility it has in the final boss room is crazy, and it melts the boss and the servitors. And Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath legitimately instant kills the spider tanks, and it destroys the boss outside of its tank form. This thing is machine, and it makes this so easy. Please get it. Now, for the armor, you're gonna want Dawn Chorus. It completely buffs your super, and it's gonna make Polaris Lance and Dragon's Breath deal a lot more damage. And that's all that's required. Those 4 items. I mean, you can customize the rest of your loadout how you like, but here are some good guidelines that I found. So you can bring any rocket launcher. You don't need bait and switch at all. It is not needed. Any sniper, but preferably high impact. Mountaintop will give you some good damage for the final boss room, but it's nothing really to go crazy over. And to help out your survivability, you can equip Fellwinter's Helm with a proximity ward mod on your class bond. This gives you a complete get out of jail free card, and it allows you to pause combat, which you'll see in the run that I do, to heal or deal damage. It's not really required. I've done it without it. But if you're struggling with the first combat encounters, this is going to make your life so much easier. Trust me. So obviously we're going to be using Dawnblade, and we're going to be using Ember of Char, Ember of Wonder, Ember of Ashes, Ember of Eruption, and then over on the aspects, we're going to use Heat Rises and Icarus Dash. Now the run is going to play mostly uncut, just so you can get like a complete feel for how possible this is. I want you to see how this run is like not perfect at all, but it still works. And whenever you go through vents, you want to slide and make sure to spam jump. It saves like a couple seconds, but I mean, a couple seconds is the difference between you completing it or not. And you don't have to do this, but I like to do it with Dragon's Breath, where I shoot a shot and then switch to Risk Runner. Because sometimes you can get lucky and it kills the entire room and you're moving on with like 20 minutes and like 15 seconds left. But sometimes you have to finish out the guys, and it's not really a big deal. But in this run specifically, it is really slow. I waste a heal, and the captain is just absolutely eating these shots, and it's just taking forever. Usually you can get out of here with like 20:05 left, but what can you do, you know? And whenever you're running, you always want to use your Icarus dashes, and you want to activate your boost before you dash to get maximum velocity. Usually you can make it up through there, but I completely fall and then I panic and then open up the menu. So you can already tell that I'm really behind on time for what would be a super fast run, but you don't need a super fast run because you can complete it. And look what Risk Runner does these shanks. And then after you deal with the shanks, you move on to the heavy shank. Again, missing shots. And then you move on to the sniper shanks. You can maneuver around this right ledge over on the right of your screen so that these shanks don't see you. And it just kind of helps you not take as much damage, because if you get sniped by more than one, you're probably dead. And you go out, clear these guys, and then now you activate your super. And then with Dawn Chorus, this thing eats. Look how fast it killed that. Then you move over to that shank. It's okay if you don't like move over to the shank. The shank is pretty easy to deal with if you use your heavy or something. And you can tell I missed those guys, the Vandals. So you go and clean them up, and then make your first switch to Fellwinter's Helm, and then you switch to Dragon's Breath. So this is what Fellwinter's Helm is good for, is this specific scenario. It's not needed, but if there's a mistake that happens, Fellwinter's Helm is going to lock this down. So the main priority with this next encounter is going to be preventing the servitors from spreading their immunity to all the other ads. And the way that we're going to stop that and prevent that from happening is by using melee kills and finishers with Fellwinter's Helm and just shooting my solar weapon to break the shields. So as you can see, right now I get a finisher and bam, everyone is stunned. No one can do anything. They're getting crit, and then the servitor can't shield anyone. So unluckily we don't get a lot of kills off of that, so we just have to stall and heal. It's all right. But as soon as you get your super, you're going to want to pop it and then focus the servitors. That is priority number one. Not the snipers, not anyone else, not the tank. It is these servitors. And then once you narrow these guys down, you can perform finisher, and then bam, that makes the tank and the servitors down below be able to be crit, and then Dragon's Breath is going to take care of all three of them. And then you can whittle down the other ads. And these ads, low-key, are broken. Sometimes they just spawn, and they just respawn for no reason. That is the one thing that makes me infuriated about this mission, is these ads. Because I'll just kill those guys. But anyway, you want to pick up as many orbs as you can because you want your super back fast enough. And then when we come across these group of ads, usually they'll be standing in the doorway in this room, so you can just Dragon's Breath them and then it's over. But sometimes you have to walk up in there, and I mean, it just, with Fellwinter's Helm, it's really easy. But it's not required. It just helps with your survivability a little bit. And then as soon as you enter this room, you focus the heavy shank, and then as soon as you eliminate him, the room becomes infinitely easier. But as long as you hit your shots, which I am not doing right now, and you whittle these guys down, and then you move on to the next room. But before, you change back to your Dawn Chorus, and you continue using your Icarus Dash and jumping and using your boost. And going through this section of the combat encounter, you're going to be looking for heavy ammo, and if you don't have any heavy ammo at the end of this, there's going to be an alternate route that you can take. That'll save some time, but it's just a little bit more mechanically demanding, pretty much. But then again, it's not demanding at all, and I'm sure all of you could do it. At the same time, these guys provide some super energy, which we're going to be needing to traverse one of the encounters later on as well. And you can see I got my super, and luckily I do have heavy ammo because heavy has not dropped. So I'm still going to be able to use the safer option, one that won't waste time if I fail to jump. Well, I just got heavy, so it looks like we'll be all good. Always using Icarus Dash and using the momentum from it. And whenever you're in sections like this, it's always good to check your weapons to reload or anything. Just in general, when you're in falling sections, you can just do stuff to keep your character if you need to switch armor or switch any abilities around or anything. That is the time to do it. And as you can see, this is our first path. This is going to be the safer option now that we have heavy and we have Dragon's Breath. We just come down over here to the captain and we put one shot in him, and then it should stun the other one. There we go. And it's an easy snipe. And all you need to do is flick this one switch. You don't need to flick all four of them. This is the only one that you need to get up to the next part of the level. And you just go climb up from there. See, 14 minutes and 10 seconds, not bad. Not super fast, but not super slow. And as you climb up, you're going to want to jump without pressing a movement key and then hold W. So now we're going to show the second option that if you feel like you can make the jump is the better way to take. It's just a little bit more physically demanding. And if you don't have heavy, this is a perfect thing to do. You go down through this hole, and it is going to drop you over the pit, so you better be ready. And then you climb up onto this railings. You can see me doing a terrible job right now, and it's right here in location everything. and then you activate Heat Rises, and you just run and jump and Icarus Dash. And Icarus Dash is a good mantle like ability pretty much, because it'll always proc a mantle if you Icarus Dash into something. So now we're back into the actual run, and we activate Heat Rises, and we pop our super, and we just skip these guys. You don't even bother with these guys. They have nothing for you. And then whenever you're going through here, you can jump and then dash to save some precious seconds. And once you get out here, you can just wait for your super to go back, because it's a little bit disorienting to be in the air and then your super goes away. I've died many times, like with an insane run, because just the point of view was crazy. Those last two jumps are going to fall out from under you, so you just want to keep moving. And that's the thing I see people mess up on this part specifically, is don't be scared. There you go. There's the mantle again. Yeah, don't be scared. You need to keep moving through here, or else you're going to, it's just going to reset your momentum, and it's just not going to be good for your jumping puzzles. I sure put someone through this, and that is definitely the number one thing I've seen, is people stopping their momentum when, even though it's a little bit scary to keep going forward, it's the only way to do it, like, consistently. So as we make our way through here, we're gonna have our grenade back again, and that is going to lead to another time skip with Heat Rises. We're gonna get 2 Icarus Dashes, and you can just fly by these guys. Look what I'm doing. I'm not even bothering with these guys. You do not have to fire a single shot at them. I see so many people trying to take them out because it's a little bit safer, but honestly, I feel like it's more dangerous trying to shoot those guys, because you're trying to land and you're trying to make sure that none of them kill you. It's just not a good idea. Just skip those guys. You do not need to kill them. So right now we are entering into the Trevor encounter, and whenever you get to this spot, you want to think to yourself, okay, what do I need to switch in my loadout for the final boss room? Because this is one of the best places to switch your loadout, right here, and the elevator, both at the beginning and the end of this encounter. So right now it's a big falling section, so that's a perfect time for me to switch. And right now, here's the maps for people that aren't familiar with this encounter, just so you can see my route. And what you want to do is you want to spam jump. So powered burst is going to, or the burst glide is going to really help in this. So if you don't already use that, then it would be good to change, because it reflects you like off the walls and it bounces you, and your momentum gets crazy with the burst glide. So as you can see, we got that first one, and you can see me flying through here. Yeah, just jumping against the walls. And on this one, we're going to activate but turn around, because this arc gate isn't there. And through this route, you're not going to, if you just follow this route perfectly, you're not going to see Trevor at all. It's not going to even be a threat. But as we keep going, we go to the right one first. So we save a little bit of time. Activate, turn around. We wait for the arc gate. Now, this next one, it is very important after we activate the switch that we move fast, because there is an arc gate at the very end that's blocking the exit of the entire encounter that can really stop some time. And I mean, it's like 10-15 seconds, but I mean, that's 15 seconds that you could have. So you're gonna see that right here. I go and I boost, and here's the arc gate. You want to get past it, and you heard it go by, and there we go. That encounter is complete. So if you just follow that route, you should be completely good. And now that we're at the elevator, now you can change up some of your mods and everything. I put on arc resistance because the snipers in here can get pretty crazy, and the shanks. And then I switched my melee for the far ranged one, so I can hit the boss and then weaken them. That's not really required. You're going to be dealing a lot of damage, but if you get really close, like you're going to see this run goes, it could be the difference. So if you want to change that and experiment with that, then go ahead for it. So we come over here into this one, always jumping through these vents. That's probably saved about like 10 seconds, to be honest. And then we fall down and come back here. And now we have entered the heat map. So there's going to be 3 different mazes depending on what type of threat it is. And here they are. Now, you can die here really easily. So I like to be so careful. I stay directly in the middle of the tile I'm on. But then we keep going forward. We come back to this right one, hit him with a jump, and then we go straight in. And you can see we are coming up here about 8 minutes for the boss fight, but before we rally, we activate heat rises and then plant, so we get our grenade and heat rises. And now it is the boss fight. All right, so the priority through this boss fight is to stay in these cubbies at the very beginning because the ads can't get you for some reason. And then your main priority is to burn the boss down as fast as possible and get him to teleport. The way you do that is by dealing damage to him. And he teleports at certain percentages. It's roughly about like 80 and then 60 and then 50, if I remember correctly. But see, we don't even want to focus the servitor on top of us right now. We just want him to get through his teleport rotation so we can send him all the way back to the back of the room. There we go. So he's in the back of the room right now, and now we can switch completely to Polaris. Now this gun goes insane. Look at how much I'm able to damage him from all the way back here, not getting damaged at all. Completely. And see, the boss just teleported to its last teleport location before it goes back to the beginning, and just completely burn this guy. And as soon as we feel safe and scout out some heavy ammo, we can rush forward and run back to the direct back of the room. And there's still two guys here, and you can see me absolutely fail, almost die to these guys. But once you're back here, the sniper vandals cannot hit you in the background. So you are all good. You are a-okay. But if you do go too high in the air, they will be able to hit you for some reason. I don't know. But as soon as you come back here, you want to focus this servitor down. And you can see this server got me so mad. It kept teleporting, bro. Look, I'm getting juked by this servitor. So if this happens, I realized you can just hold down the trigger. It's not really teleporting. It's just staying there. So if you just hold down the trigger, you'll still be doing damage. The boss is over to my right now. But the boss is always going to keep shooting at you. You just need to keep moving a tiny bit. And now that the server's down, we can go back to getting this boss to teleport to its last location. Let's see, look at that. 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. And it's already almost in its mech. So now that it goes down to the last location, I like just to do a little bit of ad clear, get the snipers out, because the snipers can absolutely wreck your day. And then some of these maulers come in there. I mean, it's all good. You just want to focus the boss down at this point. And we're going to be preparing for right when this boss teleports away, we are going to switch to Dragon's Breath to deal with the tanks. So you can see I haven't been using heavy because I wanted to keep enough so I would have 2 shots, or I've left heavy bricks around on the map just in case. So the walkers have spawned, and now you're going to see the absolute worst thing that can happen. So sometimes this does happen if you're a little bit too far away or you shoot them in the wrong spot. They don't die. And my loadout is just not prepped for that. So I switch back, and you see me panicking a little bit. This is the worst nightmare. Like we were looking at like a sub 3 minute left kill, and now this is getting really bad. Which shows that even if things go catastrophically wrong, you can still get it. So right now I'm just having a terrible time trying to hit this walker. I'm super tilted right now because I'm trying to go for my flawless run. This was from my flawless stream. Still haven't gotten it. You see me absolutely going crazy. I've knocked all of his legs off. You can see I'm so tilted. I am screaming that the run is over right now, which you don't hear. I could just pull out mountaintop and kill him, but I'm too tilted to think about it. But it goes to show if you have a lot of time wastes, you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. So this guy is still up. This is what I was telling, this is what I was talking about, was it's all right if you just waste time. Look how much time I wasted, like, and I died. I wasted like 90 seconds, a minute and a half off of that. And now I decide, okay, it's time to focus up. And I'm still and then I pull out the mountaintop, finally get the kill. But now that we kill those guys, now we focus the servitor again. And we have our super up. We're keeping our super until the servitor is gone, because the worst thing that could happen is for us to pop the super and then the servitor immunes them just like that. That would be catastrophic. Almost as catastrophic as 2 walker tanks still being alive. But this is pretty simple because the ads can't hit you. You just got to keep moving. Sometimes it does bug out and it just doesn't show you where the missiles are, so you just die randomly. But now you can see with Dawn Chorus, this super is eating. Look at how much damage it's dealing. That one super knocked his faceplate off. And from there, it's just, you can just back up and it's simple. You just walk around and dodge the missiles, but again, sometimes the missiles do bug out, so there may be sometimes that you die. I'm sensing I'm gonna need a little bit more damage, so I throw out my melee. There you go, he's crit. And the good thing about Polaris Lance is it stuns him too. It stops, it stuns him whenever he gets enough stacks. And there we go. Now, it is ad clear time. After you kill him, you switch back to Risk Runner. And if you're going for flawless, you can go a little bit more cautious, but I already died, so I was just going for it. And what you want to do is you want to go in like a box formation pretty much. You want to clear out the shanks in each corner. And a good way to do that is to run up to these cubbies that they can't hit you at. See, there we go. None of the ads are able to really hit me that much. And then I do notice that there are vandals up here, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to kill myself to go get them because my loadout isn't just suited for that. So then I switch back to a scout rifle to kill those vandals on top. There you go. And I'm just missing shots left and right. There you go. Kill the shanks. I'm just missing so bad. You can, I'm telling you guys, this is so possible for you to do. Like for anyone, I would say most people can do this. And there you go. I get a super, which times out pretty well. I go at it. There we go. And then there are going to be invisible guys in the middle, and you're going to pretty much find them before time runs out. They do like to run away though. See, right now there's 15 seconds left. I'm trying to find them. But just be wary that they will always go back to the middle. And there you go, 6 seconds left. Probably the worst run of my career that finished it, but I just wanted to show you that it does not take a good run and good damage for you to be able to do this. If you just go in there with a plan, with this loadout, it's gonna be easy, I promise you.